So recently I remembered that this channel existed, and for whatever reason, watching videos of my 14-year-old self being a pretentious film bro was weirdly nostalgic and gave me a boost of creative motivation to bring this shit back. I guess I'm also hoping that somehow it'll make me feel slightly less like a huge geek with no aspiration to achieve anything worthwhile in life. But, that being said, I've decided to go over a movie that has admittedly been discussed to death, but hopefully I can contribute somewhat of my own perspective here. The film in question is of course Juno, a coming-of-age comedy drama that follows a suburban teenager played by Elliot Page, who gets pregnant, deciding to give the baby up for adoption. The film showcases all the pros and cons that go along with such a process. The concept alone isn't all that interesting upon first glance, but I think the execution is what sets it apart. Particularly the characters, with every actor doing a flawless job at making the pacing and overall feel of the movie come across very natural. But of course, the standout performance comes from Elliot Page as Juno. It's often hard to separate what aspects of Juno's character had been written and what parts were authentic to Elliot's portrayal. For me, that really just goes to show how good of a performance this is, especially since Juno could easily have become a far more unlikable character, with her wittiness and often refusal to take the situation as seriously as she probably should. However, the aspects of her character that could be interpreted as just trying to appeal to the audience do come across very genuine in the grand scheme of things, managing to combine the correct amount of comedic elements of her character with the more emotional, raw side also shining through. It was detrimental for the film that this be done right, and without a doubt, it's what makes Juno so worth remembering. Another key part of the movie that I think has helped it gain such a status is the directing, coming across very confident, featuring sweeping shots, some longer takes, and intelligent visual storytelling. All this combined with the warm texture and cinematography of the film makes it feel that much more unique and immersive. It's this style of filmmaking that makes the world feel so captivating in my opinion. Everything comes together in such a natural way, there's very little that I think garners criticism. The one thing that I think hasn't aged the best is the sheer amount of quirkiness that the film tries to pull off. Not that that's always a bad thing, because most of the time it works really well. There's just certain points with the dialogue where it feels like it's trying too hard in that sense. However, that's probably the only thing I think that generally brings down the movie's overall quality. And seeing how this was very common in movies at the time, I think it's quite easily forgivable. So overall, I think Juno is more than worthy of the praise it gets. It's definitely worth watching, and I think it's a staple in the coming-of-age genre. That said, bye, I guess.